The Johnny Carson people would tell you had no feelings and was cold and had a, as I said about him on a roast, had a ramrod up his spine. And many of those things were true about him, but boy, was he sentimental, but he never let anybody see it. I walked into Johnny's office, and he looked at me and said, "Oh, you know too, eh?" And yeah, it had just come across the wire that Stan had just died. And Johnny said, "Write me a little something about him," and I did. And in the last minute of the show, Johnny read the thing beautifully. All I remember is the first line, which was, that I wrote was, "A great comedian died today." And then he told who, of course, talked a bit about him, and then wound it up. And his voice broke on the last few words, and he teared up. If you saw the American Masters, and there was that moment where Johnny got this huge, prestigious award beyond Emmys and Tonys and things. And I don't remember the name of it, but he was very touched by it, and he called his mother and told her, and she said, "I guess they know what they're doing." Thanks, Mom.
Well, Dick, as you know, I'm an amateur interviewer. I'd like to finish by asking you kind of an amateur question. How would you like to be remembered?
As someone who's still around. Wait a minute. Gee, I never got a chance to say that to David Frost with his goofy... when John Lennon came on, he puzzled a lot of viewers. About 3 minutes in, as they were relaxing and putting out their Viceroys, they were smoking a pack of until they calmed down. And I love John, and to many people's amazement, he went suddenly, "Dick, what's your definition of love?" David Frost's favorite question. And nobody got it, but he hated Frost, and so did my friends from Beyond the Fringe, because he was a tremendous material thief. In fact, I was going to open tonight by saying I really appreciate this award. Of all the awards I've gotten, this one really is the most recent. Now,
well, we'll save that.
Well, wait a minute. I should have saved it. I'll do it again when we get to it. But that's a line of Milton Berle's, which means that I just stole it for its second time. But I got to... somebody had me sign one of my DVDs out there. Yes, they are still available. And a man who did a genius job of putting them together is here. But he did another great service to humanity. He collected at great difficulty, going all around the country, the writings of Groucho Marx. And Groucho said more than once, and to me, I'd rather be remembered for the things I've written than anything else. He loved writers, he loved novelists, he was friends with T.S. Eliot, and that was his greatest dream. And the other thing is, may I tell you, despite my long, loving relationship with Groucho, 2 quick things.
Sure.
I never could believe it after I got to know Groucho when he would come to town and ask me if I wanted to go to a movie, or I'd come out here and have dinner with him, and I kept pinching myself. In this category with meeting Stan Laurel, of course. Here's Groucho leaving a Beverly Hills dinner party one night early. Snooty hostess. "Oh," French doors. "Slipping out, Mr. Marx?" Groucho said, "I've had a wonderful evening, but this wasn't it." Oh, can I do one more?
Please.
Here's one I owe to Robert Bader. A tour bus, Beverly Hills. "This is the house of Groucho Marx, and oh, aren't we lucky?" The loudspeaker guy. "There's somebody working in the garden there." Well, it was Julius H. Marx, or Groucho, hat pulled down, utterly unrecognizable. Let's let's see if he'll tell us something about his boss. And the guy takes a hand mic out. Groucho's working with the roses. Anyway, it ends with, what kind of a man is your boss, our famous friend in that house? And the voice from under the hat said, he's a wonderful man. He lets me sleep with his wife. This, of course, was broadcast into the bus so that a lot of people know that story. But the Benny one, and then you can get me off with this. I was in hog heaven when I got the Jack Paar job because I stayed for the tapings. I was the kid on the writing staff. Everybody went home, and I stuck around, and I watched the show again that night, and I was just so. But the hog heaven part was in the dressing room, in the green room, in the makeup room. I chatted up Bob Hope, and Crosby was on once, and Sid Caesar, and Milton Berle, and Groucho, and George Burns, and 10 more. And I was chatting with always. This day, Jack Benny was on. Show ended, went to the elevators, and he and I got in the same elevator, but so did some tourists, and that wasn't supposed to happen. They were supposed to use other elevators. So we're in the elevator. It's nice to have an audience whose age will allow them to appreciate the references and what I'm about to say. Before we left the 7th floor, wouldn't you know, somebody had said, are you really, really cheap? And he was such a lovely man, the cleanest working comedian from vaudeville through the end of his career, and yet he never missed anything. He had it all, of course. And the only man I can think of in the business that nobody could think of anything bad to say about. Everybody liked him. He was no Danny Kaye. I don't know what made me say that. Actually, Danny Kaye loved me. I had him on the show, but a lot of people did not. Anyway, so that spoils my story, so I'll just pretend I didn't say that. So we're in the elevator. 7th floor. Are you really cheap? 6th floor. Can you really play the violin? And it's such a nice man. He would, kind of. Is it true you don't pay Rochester? And you still got that old guy underneath your house in the vault guarding your money? And before we hit the bottom floor, somebody got the Maxwell. Do you still drive the 1915 Maxwell? And he was so nice to everybody. They rushed out. And as we got out of the elevator, I said, Mr. Benny, can I ask you something? Isn't it a little tiring hearing all that over the years? And he put his hand on my shoulder, and he said, kid, sometimes you just want to tell them to go themselves.
Well, Dick, thank you so much for creating time in your schedule to join us in Los Angeles. I wanted to present you with this. So it gives me great pleasure to present the Pacific Pioneer Broadcasters Art Gilmore Career Achievement Award to Dick Cavett for many distinguished years in radio and television on this day, November 7th, 2014. Congratulations and thank you.
Gee, this is beautiful. Wow. This is really, oh, thank you. Oh yeah. I got to tell you, I got a similar award once, and you will not believe me, you could see where Joey Bishop had been scratched out. And yeah, that's terrific.
Thanks for joining us. I can already feel the excitement building for our next Hollywood Media Professional Celebrity Showcase.